Hello once again YouTube, Chris the Nightbringer here, bringing you another StarMade station review. This is the Planet Simulator by Chad German 2. So, let's take a look. Apparently this is supposed to simulate planets without actually having to visit those planets. Right off from the start, I can say that externally there needs to be a lot more going on for me to consider this station finished. You know, there's wedging that needs to be done on these cylindrical shapes right here. Even if the majority of the purpose of this station is to be viewed from the inside, I still think, you know, having a finished exterior is important. You know, we have things like the turret docking modules all exposed, and in some cases, while that may work, I don't really feel like a lot of thought was put into the reason it's behind exposing these to just space in general and having them out in the open like that. That being said, it does have some like interesting little things on the side here, and I guess we'll figure out what all of this stuff is when we enter the station itself. So let me find out how to get in. Going to assume that it has to do with this central section here. Is that the case? No, that's actually not the case. Hopefully we can find a way in. If not, we'll just build block our way in, because I don't really have the time to mess around with this. But we're inside the station now. There's a faction module, and there is no shop module, although that is easily fixable. There is no shop module currently present on the station. So let's say we wanted to go through this hallway and enter this cylinder. We have what appears to be a green planet with a little pond. Some water here, some sand, a bit of a beach, and we have some trees. Let's go around. Oh, okay, so maybe this is the way you get in. A bit unorthodox. There's no real indication as to where the entrance was, so, you know, that's something the builder might want to think about. There's undetonators here, I suppose, right? Spawn point set. Okay, good. There's a block missing here. Let's travel down this hallway, and let's go check out some of the... Oh, wow. So they've actually put in a little bit of effort in this area. It looks pretty cool. I like that. Pretty neat. There is a bit of damage up here. I don't know why. That's okay. Maybe that's just a result of the sector export. Thanks to Andy P. This is a red planet with very sparse terrain. And over here we have an ice planet with trees. Interesting. So, I personally am going to have to say that I think this station needs a lot of work to get it to a stage where I would consider it complete. It is just lacking in many areas. You know, wedging can be done to smoothen this cylinder up. More things can be done to the interior of this space than just leaving it as a soil-filled room. You know, there's more that you can do with this. You know, you can add terrain, layers, hills, even a small hill. Something is better than just this, honestly. The hallways are a bit bare, and even though they have this cool light going down it, they are square and a bit plain. They could use a little bit of depth by either adding some sort of, you know, trim or something to them. The entrances, I did not know where the entrances were, and this really isn't the most intuitive way, intuitive design for that. There is a bit of a bevel here, and I wonder if they could have wedged this, or if it was intended to be left that way, but I'm going to assume it's not, because, honestly, I've not really seen a finished, well-planned station that left a bevel like that, of some description, I suppose. I think this is an actual docking module, a green one. Yeah, okay, so there are, docking spaces, quite large ones, in fact. Turret spaces. Quite a number of docking areas, but to be honest, I don't think that many are necessary unless they are covered up better. There really isn't that much of a need to put this many turret hardpoints or docking sections on a station like this. So, overall, I really like the idea. It's cool. It's like a holodeck type of thing, a planet simulator, but it needs better execution in all areas. It really does. For the overall internal design, I'm going to give it, honestly, a 4 out of 10. You know, like all the points that I've mentioned before need work on. external design is a little bit better. It's more interesting on the outside, but again, it needs a lot of work, so I'm going to give it a 5 out of 10. And as for the overall effectiveness as a trade guild station, I'm not entirely convinced that the trade guild would even be on the station, let alone own it or anything, because I'm not getting the impression that this is a station the trade guild would own. There's no real reason for me to consider. This doesn't even have a shop module, and I think that's my main point, is that it was not built as a trading station, it was built as a planet simulator. So I don't know if there really would be use for this as a trade guild station by the trade guild. So effectiveness is gonna have to say like a 3 out of 10. I get the idea and the purpose behind, well actually, in terms of a planet simulator, I'm gonna give it, you know, like an 8 out of 10. Because I know it's a planet simulator by going in there, but it does need a lot of work. From the outside though, and from a trade guild perspective, this does not represent the trade guild in my opinion, and I'm going to give it a lower rating, something along the lines of a 4 out of 10 or less. The only reason I'm giving it a 4 is because there are blue lights on this, which is the trade guild's colors. So, Chad German 2, I would say that you've got a lot of work cut out for you if you want to make this like a well-finished station. And I'm not saying that it's a bad idea. I actually quite, you know, enjoy the idea of going into a station and finding little biomes and stuff. That's really cool. But again, it does need a lot of polishing. So I hope you guys enjoyed this review. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more if you want to see the rest of this series. And I will see you next time for the next station review.